it's all right. I can't feel happy if I have, yeah, well, a nice job with a tiny little apartment and, you know, like a regular life. I need the thrills, I need the grips, I need the excitement, I need to put myself in danger. I only have this life, this is a one shot only, so I have to make the most of this. And I don't want to miss out, because there's not going to be another chance, you know what I mean? Hi. You mind if I take a look? Thanks. I'm from Italy. I moved to Ireland in September 2002. I couldn't say that it was a holiday because I was a bit upset when I left. I had a return flight and I had 600 euros in my pocket. God. My mom is Orthodox. My father is communist, and you know that communism and religion don't go along. I've grown up with my dad saying things like, okay, the three more important things in your life are the three P's. Pene, presenza, and portafoglio, which is, you know, like your penis, your presence, and your wallet. So, can you imagine? I think I followed, you know, that kind of teaching. Look at the lady there. Look, she looks scary. There's something mean about her. She might actually look like, you know, one of those scary drag queens, you know, with big eyebrows. Don't like the necklace, though. Another thing he used to tell me was, listen, you do whatever you like with your life. I don't care, as long as I don't find out that you're a drug addict or a faggot. So when Mom and Dad found out, my father went crazy and my mother blindfolded herself, saying, you promise me that from now on you're gonna be just, you know, like you have to be. And that was, I think, one of the saddest moments of my life when I realized, you know, like the limits my mother had. So I decided to, you know, play along. Okay, yes, I'm actually straight. Yeah, right, you know, I'm good. I'm doing plenty of drugs, but you have no idea because I'm very good at concealing. I'm still having sex with men, but you do not know because I'm very good at concealing. After 3 years, that was, you know, a lot of pressure. I thought I was kind of about to burst anytime. This is a size 8. It's gonna be skin tight. I love it. Giovanna, would you be so kind? Lovely. I know, it's a size 8. I love it. And you know what would be nice? I think I would do this dress with no wigs. Short hair and very, very long lashes. Fantastic. I think I should have it. Giovanna, should I?
I think maybe nice.
It's really tight. You see, like I get all silly when I put dresses on. Yes. It fits me perfectly. I think that every single drag queen does it for a different reason. You know, we're all looking for something. Like, I was coming out of a bad relationship and I had to shake it all off. I had to do something strong, something remarkable. That was my thought. I actually have it in red. I'm gonna play a character who has all the drama, okay? And that's why I picked Sybil Vane. I need her in order to survive. So it's like a companion, really, you know? Someone I use to keep going. If you don't like the world you live in, you just change it. And the only way to change it is, you know, to fantasize about it, trying to escape into a fictional world. It's not as if I have a split personality or I'm schizophrenic, you know what I mean? When I'm Sybil Vane, I'm not myself. When I'm myself, I'm not Sybil Vane. But that's the thing, like a lot of drag queens, I think they just miss it. And at some stage, they become, you know, the alter ego. And the alter ego becomes, you know, the real self, which is quite dangerous. In a way, it's like splitting yourself into two different people.
Thank you very much, darling.
I haven't been well. I have excuses. Actually, no, I don't. I don't have any fucking excuse. All right. I'm a skinny bitch, period. Well, Coco Chanel used to say back in the 30s that you're never too skinny and never too rich. Guys, would you like to go get ready? To start getting ready, huh? Instead of just having fucking booze and irritating me, huh?
We're going to get exhausted.
I don't give a shit. You change right now, okay? It's a man pretending to be a woman, and that's the nature of the whole drag business. If a drag queen wants to look like a woman too much, too perfectly, it's because maybe, you know, like you don't get enough attentions as a man, so when you dress up, you want to look hot, credible as a woman, because there will always be some gentleman around in the crowd who is looking for a man who looks like a woman. I am not aroused usually, you know, from those kind of moves, you know, like, oh, you're a pretty girl, would you like to come home with me? It's not really my thing, you know. I think that comes from the confusion which exists when it comes to drag queens, you know. They look at you as, and they see you as a transvestite. My reaction is usually like, oh, well, but if you want me to come home with you, I'd better change first. But they're like, oh, no, come on, why don't you just keep your wig on and your heels on? And I'm like, that's not gonna happen. And that's because I cannot see myself, like, you know, having sex with someone pretending to be a woman. You know, like, I'm a man, I like man, and I want man to like me as a man and not as some kind of surrogate. Back 11 years ago, I was sexually assaulted by a freak. Yeah, Francesco, from Sicily, but there is nothing to say about it, Vittoria, honestly. This is very tricky I mean, I was sharing the bedroom with this guy, right? He was masturbating into socks. He was always staring at me, and he stopped me and he said something I will never forget. My mom told me, from heaven, you should wear like a blonde wig. And I was like, why? Is your mother blonde? Oh, she's dead. Don't even talk about my mother. And I was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. He locked me in the room, Vittoria, right? I cannot scream, I cannot shout, nobody's gonna hear me. There is nothing I can do about it. The guy is much bigger than me. He's totally crazy. The only thing I can do is, well, pretend that I actually want to have sex with the guy right now and get over with it. Okay, so let's have sex. And I just stared at myself having sex with the guy, really, That was the only thing I could do. He had a very small penis, if you want to know. I'm not hiding secrets. I'm not hiding pain. I'm not hiding happiness. I'm absolutely 100% see-through. And that helps. I think it helps. I'm fine. I'm fine. I try to hide this thing to my mom because I don't want her to, become so upset. But I explained to her everything in a very light way, that I've been a good person, I've been a good child, I've been a good sister to my sisters, and I gave everything. I supported you and all the things that you want to do. I think it's about time that me, myself, would be happy. So I had my operation, and just love me or leave me. That's what I said to them. It was a bit of a drama, actually.
This is my favorite picture when I was still a gay boy, which I haven't seen this for ages. I used to keep it in my closet. I like this one because I could see myself already feminine when I was still a gay boy. That's why I didn't click with some guys here.
So now you are transsexual,
Mm-hmm.
but are you completely transsexual?
I'm a pre-op transsexual.
Okay, and what does that mean?
Pre-op transsexual is you still got the veggies and the meat. It's very, very, very difficult to become a transsexual. It's very expensive as well. Before you go for a boob job, you have to be on hormonal tablets or hormonal pills. One of the side effects of there is you tend to get hungrier. I put on weight and my belly and everything. I was asked if I want a tummy tuck. A tummy tuck is take out the fat. At the same time, slice this part here and then stitch this part here to make it more firm, like that. But I am a keloid former, see, when I had my gallbladder removed. So I don't want the whole of my body has this kind of mark. And I even have marks here on my, from my surgery, breast surgery. I had my liposuction, I had my hips implants and bum implants as well. I had my chin, my lips. They say I kiss very good now. This is for my party for next Sunday. Oh, this is lovely for breakfast. Smoked fish. I love this. I'm gonna have this. Sinigang sa kamyas. I could have the whole pack. Broom. Traditional broom from the Philippines. We use this one as well as our national costume, like. Could use it here, here, or here. That's my pocket money when I go home.
So you have lots of money when you go home, I hope. And then it's spent too much.
I won't spend too much. It's all for my surgery.
Oh, you're going to do another surgery. Which one? This time?
Secret!
Ah.
This is my buddy. I came with this person at the same time. We came together here in Ireland for the same. He works in casualty. I work in surgery.
Kita nyo naman. Some changes after all these years.
He had seen the change.
Oh, she's more woman.
The minute I stepped into my workplace, I told them I'm gay. And it was so obvious. Just like, I'm gay as Christmas. Hello, I'm gay Christmas. My name is La La La, and I'm great. I started my transformation little by little. I don't want to shock the people around me. I was first transsexual nurse here in Ireland. In every place that I go, I became special, you know, and that's what I wanted to be. I'm enjoying nursing at the moment. I love taking care of people. The secondary thing is being a fashion designer and a showgirl. We introduced the Filipino gay scene to the Irish community through gay beauty pageants. And the Pink Philippines is a group of Filipinos, Filipino gays, and transsexuals, transvestites. I flooded Dublin
with loads of transsexuals from different parts of Europe. Everybody was just so amazed with my friends. They were so beautiful. I actually just so embarrassed, you know, being with them because I feel so ugly compared to them. That's what I feel. They're so gorgeous. They're so gorgeous.
I'm so exhausted and excited. Both of them are just mixing now. I don't know what to do. Most of us are just so eager to finish this and then go to party afterwards, which I hope there will be, and everybody's invited.
Little bits, okay?
I'm just going to open the present. This is from Rodrigo. Very pink Philippines.
You can use it with your boyfriend to take care of him.
Love life wise, at the moment, it's 0, but I'm happy. I told myself I wanted to have a boyfriend. I want my first boyfriend will be just like this as a transsexual, and they would reap all the things, the good things about me of being a transsexual. But then it didn't work. I used to say to my friends, I'm dying for a boyfriend. I'm dying for a boyfriend. Come on. But now I'm happy. I think I love my friends more. If I go for a boyfriend, definitely I would love my friend more than my boyfriend.
The way we look, the way we dress, and our figures, and the way we speak, and the way our attitude is to a certain person. The way you have sex, definitely.
The way we smile.
The way you smile, and you know how you maintain yourself. I must admit this. One of the reasons that's why I became a transsexual, because when I was a gay boy, nobody.
You were less attractive.
Less attractive.
Did you know that transsexuals are more higher than a man and a woman? Because we're a combination of a man and a woman. When we know how a man and a woman, we know how they think.
If you go with relationship with us, you already have a girlfriend, you have a nanny, you have a mother, a grandmother, an auntie, a sister.
Financier.
Sponsor, we can do anything for now.
I happened to talk to one of the guys who I used to date with, and I asked him, what do you think when you see a transsexual? He told me, sexual. Really?
No, listen, I mean, motherhood-wise, you know, transsexuals are very good with that because, as I've told you, we have both worlds, male and a female world. So
No
we have
children.
everything, except children.
How long have you been married for?
5 years.
And what about children? Would you like to have children?
We're planning in the future, but you know,
Adopting.
yeah. I have an adoption now. Yeah, of course, nobody will know. I have a female passport.
Of course, the court will not allow adoption for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in
but
school,
they will not know. They will not know. I mean, they see people. I'm a woman. How would they know unless you are not convincing?
But if somebody recognized you and they knew
Let-
who you
let-
are,
let's-
that would be the problem there.
That's the point.
That's
Like,
the
we
point.
don't have to think about
Darling,
the
we are
problem, the
talking
future
about
problem. We have to-
Impossibility.
No, they're
Yeah.
talking about the, like, you're already living as a
Impossibility
girl,
and,
you have a kid, you're already there.
unpractical,
Now,
not
what if
necessary.
there's a point like someone said to your kid or someone knows your kid that, oh, I know your mom, I've seen her before, blah, 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 and she's a
Or
transsexual.
otherwise, oh, your mom got a dick.
That's the main problem of, to be a trans.
Okay.
You're always negative. Think positive part.
Dreaming and making plans is good.
And it's
Always
normal.
good and normal and healthy. But never be selfish.
Transsexual needs a high maintenance. How could you possibly take care of a kid when you always go for surgery? You're gonna become a plain housewife. What's so special about that? Everybody's doing that.
The image, look at those macho in the car.
Okay, show them our stuff then.
See the reaction? Wow, my heels.
I first became close to Queen, and then a cross-dresser, transvestite, transsexual. So 4 stages in my life. And it didn't happen overnight. It happened over a long period of time.
I see you, leopard. You're watching me from the long grass. You're waiting for your moment to pounce. I see you, leopard. I see you shaking your fine ass. You're weighing me up by the ounce. They're weighing me up by the ounce. I see you, leopard. You're playing games with me. Trying to mesmerize me with your eyes. I see you, leopard, and you're showing no pity. You've covered all your tracks up with lies. You've covered all your tracks up with lies. And this leopard will never change her spots. She's only for the joy of the hunt. She'll track you with everything she's got. But I can smell her fear of being alone. Da 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 da. And this leopard will never change her spots. She's only for the joy of the hunt. Yeah, she'll track you with everything she's got. But I can smell her feeling alone. I see you, leopard. I think you're feeling miles away from me. Won't you find somebody else you can start? Won't you find somebody else you can start? Please say there is somebody else you can
The concept of the characters is that Slick-O and Sado Sapphic are brother and sisters. Slick-O is Slick O apostrophe, as in O Sapphic. I've always been like that in day-to-day life. One day I might sort of wear butch clothing, the next day I might be dressed high femme. I just don't see any reason to be stuck in one category. Like for drag kings, it's somehow seen as empowered and, you know, woman dressing in man's clothing, and the freak factor is still there. So, you know, walking down the dark streets of Temple Bar on a Friday, Saturday night with drunken people doesn't go left alone. Do you know what I mean? Like there's still that chance of getting your head kicked in for being a freak. There was a while I kind of like laughed. I was like, maybe it'd be great to get top surgery. Just have them removed for drag. But sure, then what would I twirl my tassels on? Please, God, don't let my tassels fall off.
Oh, tassels.
God says, please, Shani, stop taking your clothes off. I'm very happy in a woman's body. I enjoy being a woman. I think the whole drag thing is very sexy, so I find it totally hot when the two of us are in drag. If I've been doing too much drag, then I miss doing Sade, which is kind of where I'm at the moment.
These are the love of my life after Shani. I have a moment every time I look at these shoes. Really. I try hard not to wet myself, actually. Ta-da! That was gorgeous, baby. You should work that into your acting.
I'm kind of lucky I have fairly straight hips. I usually wear boys' jeans and pants anyway, you know? Never trust a man in a grey suit, they say. Very smooth, Slick, you know, it's very smooth. Drag queens have dresses and sequins and big wigs and so on, so a lot of the impact is there in the costume already. Whereas drag kings have to bring it all back and understate it. You have to put a lot into a number to pull off just yourself on stage. You know, a girl dressed with facial hair and beard. Very tough, very serious now. Let's get a real suit. Oh yeah, that feels good.
Yeah, it's pretty well.
Yes, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Great fit.
Ladies might come in and they buy some casual stuff. Most of the time they're buying for their husbands, so we don't get a lot. No, this is unusual.
You don't get many drag kings, no?
No. Very rare.
It's funny because this is king heaven. Yeah, that's fine.
It's a cuffling shirt as well.
I love the cufflinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies' man. I'd love to walk into a girls' night dressed like this and see the reactions. And a gay bar. Dressed with full facial hair, it'd turn a few gay boy heads as well. Which is always the best compliment to a drag king, if a boy thinks you're a cute boy. Shall we go and get dragged up? Loads of kings that are bind with bandages, which is great, and you can get a good bind, but quite often it really cuts in and it gets uncomfortable. But eventually what I got online is a proper binder, which a lot of F to M trans would wear on a daily basis until if they go while they're thinking or when they go for top surgery. Believe it or not, this is it. Hang on a sec. Okay, go. Now you see them? Now you don't.
Where do your breasts go?
South. They go south. I'm now putting in my realistic, my packy, if you will. It's my cyber skin. Realistic cock. For packing. It's called a packy. That's great. You even get a little knob on the end. How do you feel? Oh my. That's good, isn't it? It's got a great consistency. I've sat there sometimes just at home. It's like a stress ball, just playing with it. As like I walk with a stride and talk a little lower, and you know, I guess Slick to me is a bit of a moody king, so he's a bit dark.
From the get-go, I always thought Slick was a sleazy bastard. Slick's not my type of guy.
Oh, the hurt.
Did I mention I was gay? When we're going out together, out, like date-wise, out, obviously I prefer to go out with Sade than with Slick. You know, there'll be people coming up saying, you know, I love the look, it's very Dita Von Teese when she's dressed as Sade, and then when she's dressed as Slick, you'll have some gay guys come and say, oh my god, you're so hot.
Actually, he's quite a lot of inspiration for my facial hair, my ex-fiance. Really, really good friends. Osvaldo Mercado Patricio Forquel is his name. I'd had a girlfriend, funnily enough, like when I met him. I guess I decided to give it one more bash for the family. Do the right thing. It didn't quite work out that way. Tell me about your mother. Young mum, single mum. She's 20 years older than me. Took me home on her 20th birthday. Both Geminis. 9 days apart. She's a old rocker. Very young mum. And Bloodfather was a rock and roller from the 70s, glam rock. Choose not to elaborate.
Nice cock there.
Here's to the kingdom.
Yes, soon we'll put mustaches on everybody.
On the scene here, I think all of them are dykes, but I wouldn't say that all drag kings are lesbians.
I wouldn't walk down the street in drag. because I just couldn't be dealing with comments.
I get more views just looking like myself than I do as a fucking drag
yeah,
king.
same here. I get more views looking like myself walking down the street.
You draw more attention to yourself being a woman that looks masculine than you do being a woman dressed as a guy.
But sure, I know one little king in particular who got spat on in the face by a lesbian in the George because she was in drag.
Do you know, like that kind of thing? I can't abide that. I just think it's
Serious
ridiculous.
discrimination within the groups.
It's homophobia within homophobia.
The best is I had my 30th and my parents ran it, and it was the first time my parents had come to any sort of, you know, gay night, whatever. The place was, it was in Centre Stage, the place was packed to leathers. This is tiny. And I could see my dad watching this video of me in tights with the huge, like it goes down my leg, like it's a huge big packet. Cock. I was kind of worried about him, you know, because and he just shouts back, Mrs. Martin would just like to say that Tracy takes after me in the trouser department.
Do you remember at the end of Mardi Gras? It was so bizarre, running up the parade, blowing whistles. Next thing I hear, Slicko! And all three of us turned to see my mother waiting to meet us.
No way!
At the end of Mardi Gras parade, dressed in a full mermaid dress, emerald green, tottering over, that's my boy, that's my son, Slicko! And it was fucking deadly, wasn't it? Mad. The girls are going, who the fuck is that? I was like, that is my mum. I really enjoy getting dressed up and have done always. It doesn't bother me at all what people think when I'm done up as Slick. I'm happiest when I'm doing performance, doing something creative. It makes me happy.
God doesn't make mistakes. God doesn't make mistakes. The reason why I was born female, it had to be me to bring Siobhan into the world. I had to be the one to bring her into the world. But I am a man now. You know, I look the way I feel. I always have felt manly, you know, and I'm not afraid anymore. Great day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always nice.
She wants to do skydiving, she wants to do rock climbing, she wants to go up Everest. She dreams to act full time. She wants to travel the world. She's got big plans, my daughter, you know. And she wants to marry a nice millionaire and then dump him after a few years, possibly. Women, they don't know how powerful they are, do they? And yet, some of them do. I love to sing more than anything. More than the woodwork, more than the training. I love to sing the old love songs. I'd heard other guys had lost the singing voice, and I was terrified of losing my singing voice. Because of the testosterone, naturally the voice goes down deeper. I just had to kind of trust that I wouldn't lose my singing voice, and it was a huge chance, but I just couldn't take any more. I couldn't take any more of the pain. Can't you see? Why can't you see? Can't sing it for nuts now. There's a treasure for you to find. Like, just really upsets me that I can't sing this song, you know. It's called Elisa, though. Her name was Alison. And she was a hairdresser, and I fell madly in love with her. What had happened was she ended up going away on the cruise boats. And it was unrequited anyway, but I didn't know when she was coming back. And I always kind of was hoping that she did feel something, but the reality was she didn't. Looking so the opposite to what you feel, you know. My breasts really depressed me, you know. I hated the way I looked. I just didn't feel a part of the human race. You know, I wasn't a man, I wasn't a woman. The despair was so much, it would be like, it would make you think, gosh, maybe should, fucking, you know, I can't take any more of this. You know, I was actually thinking, you know, Jesus, I had the balls to fucking commit suicide, you know. So, I had to save my own life. Six-pack. Start with one, anyway. There's nothing wrong with gays. Live and let live. But I was not gay. I was not a lesbian. Hated being female. I hated it. Can't tell you how much I hated it. Not a weekend went by where, you know, there was taunts. Loud enough for you to hear, but wouldn't say it to you directly. That's what I like about taxiing. Any shit, any hassle, you just stop the car, out they go, you know. I don't care who they are. They don't show me respect, that's it, they're out. had a cycle of highs every 2.5 years, and every time I went into this area, I just believed it was heaven on earth. When I was 21, I had a month of not 1 hour sleep. It was like there was a helmet on top of my head, crushing my head. I just could not sleep. But while I'm awake, all these thoughts, millions of thoughts are coming into my mind so fast. And they're kind of inspirational thoughts, and they make you think and they make you happy. I have a lot of creative moments, incredible insights. And then towards the end, it was like, I'm gonna wake up as a man. I'm gonna die and wake up as a man. Every high ended like that. I was gonna wake up as a man. Have I stopped taking the medication for my highs? No. I never took the medication. Because I know I had very mild bipolar. I feel now that I am the man that I'm beginning to at least look the way I feel. I haven't had a high in 4 years. I think it's approximately 4 or 5, so far so good. I don't have any regrets apart from one teeny little one. And that is I should have done it years ago. Maybe when Siobhan was younger, you know? Because just so much happier now, you know? Well, I celebrate the fact now that I was female, you know? It was so right, because I have such a beautiful daughter. Unfortunately, since she was in 2nd class in primary school, she has been tormented and harassed because of me.
Everybody who's probably going to be watching this is going to be thinking, oh, you know, poor girl, this must be so hard for her. But to me, it's normal. Lee, you know, Lee has always, there's no transition really, only an appearance. I mean, Lee has always been a man. There's never been a question about that, you know. Yeah, see, I used to address Lee as mum, but, you know, once he came home, I suppose I slipped up once or twice, but I worked at it, and now it's just natural. I mean, and when I hear people who don't know what Lee's been through refer to him as female, it's just, it sounds wrong.
Do you think that gender dysphoria is genetic?
No, because, I mean, me, I live for guys. I mean, the thoughts. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, no. No, I don't think it's genetic at all. I think it's just, it just happens to some people, and it's really sad, and it's terrible to see somebody unhappy with the way they are like that. I had a major uproar, I suppose, in 2nd year, where people kept insisting that I must be, you know, a lesbian. And I ended up writing a long letter to the principal explaining that in no way was I a lesbian, that I was sick of all these kind of taunts or whatever, because usually I wouldn't care. I'd almost actually enjoy rebuffing them, you know, and denying everything. I'd enjoy almost bitching back. But not when it was coming up to exam time. When it comes up to stuff like that, you know, I want to be able to focus on studies, and I wasn't able to do that with all the stuff going on in the classroom, you know. Lee, so passionate. Everything about him, he's really deep, you know. You get none of your materialistic kind of opinions. He's never false. He'll always give you his true opinion. It's only small bouts of loneliness that he'll get, and he'll move on, you know, a lot from that, you know, he'll pick himself up again. I mean, sometimes he will be sad that he is alone and he doesn't have a partner. But he'll get over that and he'll get happy again. Historic event, people.
What's this?
You pouring a cup of tea.
Me making a mess all over the place.
Yeah, that I'm going to have to clean up later.
Oh, yeah.
No, actually. God, I remember I just randomly suggested it to him one day that he write a song about me. Because I remember he'd written 3 songs for a woman he loved. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, well, why don't you write a song about me? My selfishness. And, he did. And I like it.
That's the one for Siobhan. I think that's the greatest gift I've given to the world, actually. I've given the gift of Siobhan to the world. You wait and see.
Yeah, is there anything I'd like to say to him?
Just that I'll always be there for him, you know, and that I love him so much, and I'm glad about what he's done.
Deuteronomy 22:5 says, a man must not wear a woman's clothes, nor must a woman wear man's clothes. Anyone who does these things is detestable to the Lord your God. I started dressing up when I was 3 years old. And my earliest memories of myself dressed up as a little girl, standing in front of a mirror saying, I'm little Mary now. Now I'm happy, I don't have to be a little boy anymore. And at that point I thought all my problems were over. In fact, they were just beginning. Most transvestites have tried on their wife's makeup, mainly eye pencils and eyebrow pencils, bit of mascara, powder. And the key for a transvestite is either a good foundation, or I use hide the blow, I use concealer. I put on a very thin layer of concealer under powder to cover my beard. If you've got bony knees like me, use this. It's strip wax. And it pulls. I find that when I'm shaving my knees, I tend to cut myself at the knees, and it bleeds for hours and hours and hours, and you can't stop it bleeding, so you can't put tights on. So I use strip wax on my knees. This I got. This is a £1,000 couture dress, which I got for about €10, believe it or not. This is when I'm feeling a bit more cheerful. This is a black tailored business suit. which is quite good for walking around town if you want to look anonymous. Then I've got various skirts and tops here, with a couple of hats. I suppose my job is a writer, mainly science fiction. Wars of the Philosophers, classic science fiction entertainment in the style of the 60s. Sex in Heaven, which my Catholic friends think has to be blasphemous, but I say it's a poem to married love. The Hippie's Tale, story of a near-death experience, which doesn't have the near-death experience, this is part 2. I was married once, yeah, and it didn't work out. I told my wife before we got married, I actually came downstairs in drag, met her in the kitchen. She said, "Oh, your personality's changed." And my personality hadn't changed, but this was, she's assumed it had to be changed because I was wearing makeup. If I marry again, I wouldn't marry anybody who didn't at least 90% accept it. I went out with a girl for about 15 years, 14 years, who largely accepted, but she swung to and fro. Sometimes she would go out with me in drag, and sometimes if I shaved my legs, she'd say, "That's self-mutilation," you know. She'd get very sort of blood and thunder about it. And again, we didn't get married, mainly because we couldn't agree where we were going to live. She kept dogs. But that was the best relationship I've had, you know.
Where is she now?
She died last year.
And how do you feel?
I feel a bit lonely after she's gone.
What size are you?
Do you know, I don't know, size 12 or 14.
We've a few here. Yeah. They're like suits, something like that. That's a size 12. Would that fit you?
That might fit.
There you go. Okay. Bit tight.
It's a bit tight.
Bit tight, yeah. That's all and that'll be all our jackets anyway. Yeah, the length of that one is okay as well.
The only problem with this one is it doesn't have pockets. I need pockets to keep my keys in. I don't like leaving my keys in my handbag in case my handbag gets stolen.
Okay.
To be honest, as a transvestite, I thought much the same thing. That you have to be gay if you're a transvestite. I didn't necessarily think gay, I just thought there must be a bunch of complete weirdos. And it never occurred to me this reflected on myself, that therefore I must be a complete weirdo. But when I got to know them, I found that very, very, very normal cross-section of sort of middle-class society. How much is this one, Joe?
€5.
€5.
Okay.
I'll take this one.
Okay. See where I'm going to find the bag for you.
I assumed it had to be wrong, but I didn't pray about it. I didn't actually say, "God, why am I like this? Why did you make me like this? And what should I do about it?" And when I did pray, I felt God was saying, "Look, you've got to live with it. So go out and buy some clothes and a wig, you know, and get it out of your system while you can." I thought of suicide once or twice. But not over being a transvestite, just out of general depression. To me, depression is it's a feeling. And I can't really explain it. And I don't like it. I don't even want to talk about it too much. If I wasn't a transvestite, I might be a happily married man with a job, kids, a wife, doing the normal things. And I'd probably be a lot happier if I was. I'd probably be a lot happier. It is a social barrier. As I say, I don't get very much open criticism, but you don't get a great many invitations either.
I don't know. It's very hard to say. I think in principle they're liberal, but because it's somebody so close to them, there's a certain shock element. They didn't really accept that their Sean, who they're always known as a guy, could be a weirdo, could be a transvestite. We were in line for barony, which was offered to my ancestor Charles Leslie as a bribe for voting in to abolish the Irish Parliament. And because he was a patriot, he refused to vote to abolish the Irish Parliament. So they didn't give him the barony. They upped it to an earldom and gave it to our neighbours, the Westerners. If I survive my uncle, I will inherit. I'll then be Sir Crystal Leslie or Sir Sean Leslie. My dream as a transvestite is to do all the same things I do as a guy. Go to the same places, do the same work, meet the same people, drink in the same pubs. And it's hard to do that. That's why I come to Club Gemini. And I lost a very good friend called Christy. Became a very committed Catholic through knowing me. Then met a priest who said, this guy wears women's clothes. Can't you see he's of the devil? Can't you see he's in the dark? Keep away from him. I visited Christy last week, and not in drag. And I said, Christy, why haven't I heard from you? She said, look, if you came in here with a load of guns or hand grenades, I wouldn't let you in. It's the same with women's clothes. I said, wait a minute, women's clothes don't kill people, Christy. Have you studied who is this priest? I wrote a very rude note about this priest, suggesting that he study his theology.
The likes of the Catholic Church should be more open-minded.
I wrote to the Pope last week. I've written to the Pope 5 times, and bless him, he's replied to 3 of my letters.
Really?
He has. So I'm hoping I'll get a reply from the Pope. And I also asked him, I haven't asked the Pope what about transgender people, but if I get a reply on transvestite, I'm going to ask about transgender.
This is a Unitarian church. It's the only one of its type in Ireland. And we like to pride ourselves that we welcome people here of all faiths and of none. So today, informally and publicly, taking on a new name, Linda is becoming, symbolically, a new person.
Linda, always cross-dressed, as a teenager was different, but got married, had 2 daughters. And her wife then died of cancer. On her deathbed, she said, have the operation. And her daughter was very supportive too. So with their encouragement, she went ahead, grew her hair long, had the operation, and is now Linda Sheridan.
Linda, Carmel, Debbie, Sheridan, I baptize you with water as a symbol of the common life which is in you and in the world about you, and come to recognize that the creative spirit which lies behind the universe is a spirit of diversity, difference, and astonishing variety. Amen.
I have to be a religious Victoria because I've had proof, I've had proof that God is real. And once you know He's real, you have to make a peace with them and come to terms with them and live with them.
Who's this?
That's myself.
Is it?
Age 20.
The hippie's tale. The story of a near-death experience by Sean Leslie.
At last, after about half an hour, I blacked out quite painlessly, like falling asleep. It was about 11 o'clock at night.
When I came to, I was out of my body, right out of it. I could see nothing. I was floating on my back, invisible, a spirit. I concluded the human soul is body-shaped, fits inside the physical body like a hand inside a glove. I was in deep space, as if beyond the furthest star. I looked back and saw Earth like a beautiful three-dimensional hologram. Beautiful but unreal compared with what I was experiencing now. I felt I'd just woken up. This was reality I was in, like someone stepping out of a cinema and realizing what they had been going through was only a movie. I was flying over ridges of wooded hills in the sunlight. Ahead of me, two great white fountains of tumbling water rose out of the trees, forming a natural gateway. Beyond the fountains was heaven. I saw it stretching away into the distance like a great plain, a sea of golden glass. In the foreground were 500 or 600 young, good-looking men and women. They were all looking in the same direction, looking up at the sky. And out of a hole in the sky, a waterfall was pouring over them. A waterfall of ruby-red liquid fire, which was the Holy Spirit. It flowed over them and flowed between them, immersing them in an incredible feeling of wonder, joy, and happiness. I was moved to tears and longed to be with them. I got the impression that literally anything, no matter how wonderful, could really happen there.
That you came to me, I was staring out to sea. The sky was filled with colors and the angel sang to me. So reach for the stars. To mourn for God he left, and you will never from between us was as solid and as fresh as good champagne. Through stormy times, the friction all forgotten, dissipated with the rain. So reach for the stars. And you packed our bags at twilight and we sailed for home towards the setting sun. Memories of our lives together make sense now, the journey's just begun.